You're listening to Two Babies in a Business, a podcast about business, marketing, growth strategy, staff, clients, babies, and marriage. I'm Christina, joined by my wonderful husband, Peter. We're founders and leaders of CIPR Communications. Hi, Peter.
How's it going today?
Good. I feel like I never call you Peter, so it's weird to say that. Okay, today, because we're still talking about this topic of like building our business. And I wanted to know your thoughts on Asana. Maybe this episode could be like sponsored by Asana.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, that's an interesting question or topic. I will say that I think Asana, or I guess overall a project management tool, is an absolute critical must for a company like us. Organization and standardization are things that I know we've been working on internally. Asana is pretty amazing when it comes to being a tool that can help you accomplish those things. In our space, we have many clients, many projects, many deliverables. And I think something that we try to do is be as transparent as possible with clients. And really the easiest way to do that is through a tool like Asana, where you can basically have clients in there and have them participate in projects and sort of be involved in discussions and all of that kind of fun stuff. Now, I will caveat all of this by saying I am that annoying human in every company that doesn't sort of use the tools as well as I should. So I am like the problem child. But having said that, in my role as sales, I probably need the tool the least compared to all of the compared to staff. How about you? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I was like reflecting on Asana. And so for those who don't know what Asana is, it's like your base camp, right? Any sort of project management web-based tool. And I was thinking about it just from like, again, building our business and how things started. So, I mean, I'm a fairly organized person, I would say.
You are an extremely organized person. I always tell people you're the most organized human being they'll ever come across, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
It all started when I was a little girl and I would organize my sock drawer by color. I don't know if you knew that about me. But no, like I think back to the beginning when it was just me, like I had just left corporate Calgary, to which I would love to talk to some of my staff there because I'm sure I had similar systems of organization, but it was just me. So like sticky notes on my desk worked. That was great. I knew what I needed to get done for the day. I had a handful of clients that I was servicing. And then there came this like moment, and I don't know if you remember this, but when we were starting to work together full time, and it was like this, I feel like we had just had children too. So there was this whole other level of scheduling and dealing with twins. But we just didn't know what one another was doing anymore. And
Yeah.
so, there was a spreadsheet for a long time that kind of existed. I have mixed feelings about that and how that went, but at least it grounded, I think, some of our conversations. And I think at that point too, you and I were really just trying to figure out how to communicate as colleagues, as a husband and wife too.
That's an uphill battle. I feel like we're in a great place when it comes to that now, but that's not an easy thing. You should kind of say like when a couple's going to business together, sort of just that organize that or how to be organized, how to communicate. That's a hard thing. That's a hard piece. And I think certainly a tool like Asana, I think certainly helps kind of organize thinking, organize thoughts. I think probably the place where it's the most useful, and we're not even really there yet in my opinion, but we're getting there in terms of, you start to standardize what you do, and you standardize across all clients as much as you can. Now we're in a world where there's a lot of custom solutions and custom things we do for clients all the time, but at least if you have a standard framework in terms of how to put it sort of together and organize it, then it becomes, that tool becomes a bit of a, okay, new client, sort of here's the entire project. And then you can go in and sort of customize, but at least it helps to really kind of create that consistency when new staff come in, when different people are touching projects and different people are touching clients. I think it's critical. And it's really, curious to me. I mean, I think a lot of companies, I certainly, in my corporate experience, didn't experience a lot of really great internal organization generally. And yeah, it's sort of a thing that I think a lot of companies struggle with.
Yeah, I mean, been interesting in like our evolution of using a project management tool for the business is like, one, it allowed us to grow. Like, I think we started understanding capacities more. We started being able to balance our time between multiple tasks and have that line of sight. But there was this point too, and it was more recently, like definitely within the last year, where it was like, we need to add our clients to this.
Mm-hmm.
And what I always think is fun is you really get insight into a company's culture and a client's culture when you see them either react to a tool, and we can see who's logged in and who hasn't, and when the last time they did was, and just those that engage readily and those that don't, and those that step back and those that kind of lean into it. And there's exceptions to every rule. So I think that we have amazing clients that communicate with us not on the project management system, and then we have amazing clients that only communicate with us on the project management system. But for me, and almost, maybe it's an early tip this time, but like a tip for someone engaging a consultant is like communicate, right? Like, and I just think those that choose to communicate with us, and even if that communication is logging into a project management system and seeing where things are at, because we're just in there all the time, makes the relationship so much more fruitful. Like yeah, it becomes not, I don't want to say the tool is a crutch for us, but I know the staff wake up and check their tasks in Asana. My Asana froze the other day, and I was madly texting Brad going like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do next.
Yeah.
But it's, I think it's a good thing. I think that having that transparency and that level of organization has let us step up in a big way.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say though, I think it's also important for an agency like ours or any sort of service company to also meet clients where they're at, right? And so, we do this and certainly, but obviously we do everything in Asana. It's our tool. It's not a tool necessarily that our clients are on. And so if Asana is not the right tool to communicate with a client, then obviously email or whatever they say as their preference is important, right? But I think the best thing we've done so far is add the weekly update. And sort of here's kind of the weekly update, and then if that can be sent in an email as well, then at least it's sort of again keeping people in the loop, which is really important.
Totally. Yeah. And I mean, maybe the other tip for everyone as they're looking to engage a marketing agency is ask how they keep themselves organized. Right? It's as easy as that, especially if you're not the most organized person, then knowing you have an agency in your corner that is, I think allows you to actually wrap your arms around what you're trying to do from a marketing comms perspective.
Totally. It blows my mind how many times I talk to people who are like, we hired this agency and they were doing this stuff for us, but we have no idea what they did. It like blows my mind. It's like I hear that story daily. And so certainly, yeah, I think it's really, really critical, especially going forward. The tools are there, so they need to be used.
It's true. So there you have it. Right tools are important to growing a business. And I think especially in a marketing agency, comms agency, you need them.
Nice.
Well, have a great afternoon.
See you later.
Love you.
Bye.